Good afternoon and welcome to the first session of our Fall Lunch and Learn series. These engaging sessions are proudly presented by Community Futures Entre-Corp, dedicated to serving Medicine Hat area, along with Community Futures Chinook serving the Tabor, Brooks, and Warner regions. My name is Grace Evans, and I'm the Digital Service Squad team member for Community Futures Chinook and Entre-Corp. As the Digital Service Squad team member, I provide small businesses with free support for online marketing, website development, social media, and more. Thank you for everyone joining me today for our Lunch and Learn session on B2B marketing. Before we start, these sessions are being recorded and will be available post-event. All questions can be asked in the Q&A section located to the right. And if you would like to make the presentation full screen, the button is located in the top right corner of the presentation. As the name implies, B2B marketing, also known as business-to-business marketing, involves marketing to other businesses rather than targeting the final customer. Generally, B2B marketing content tends to be more informative and direct than B2C. The distinction arises from the fact that business purchasing decisions, as opposed to customer choices, are more heavily influenced by the direct impact on overall revenue. B2B versus B2C. B2B targets the needs of individuals who are making purchasing decisions on behalf of or for their organization. B2C targets the needs of consumers who are making purchasing decisions on behalf of or for themselves. Remember that while there are clear distinctions, some businesses might operate simultaneously in B2C and B2B contexts, blurring the lines to some extent. However, understanding these core differences will help you effectively tailor your marketing and communication strategy. Certainly, B2B businesses span a wide range of industries and forms. Here are some examples to provide you with a glimpse of the diversity within the B2B landscape: manufacturing and wholesale, technology and software, consulting and professional services, marketing and advertising agencies, logistics and supply chains, financial services, healthcare and medical supplies, constructions and engineering, energy and utilities, real estate and property management, and industrial services. As you can see on the screen, you can see some of your favorite businesses are most importantly, mainly B2B businesses: Ford Motors, PepsiCo, Mattel, ExxonMobil, Shopify, HubSpot, QuickBooks, Square. These are all examples of primarily B2B businesses. These examples showcase the diverse range of B2B businesses, each catering to the specific needs and challenges other businesses face. B2B interactions are fundamental to various industries, enabling them to function efficiently and grow through collaborations and specialized expertise. Who are you marketing, you may ask? You're marketing to a company decision maker. When you are using B2B marketing, you are not advertising or marketing to another business. You are actually marketing to the company decision maker. A company decision maker is an individual who has the authority to influence or make purchasing decisions. They are responsible for choosing the supplier that provides the goods and services on that best meets the needs of the business. The company decision maker plays a pivotal role in B2B context due to the unique characteristics of B2B transactions. The company decision maker is responsible for evaluating, strategizing, and making informed choices that align with company goals, resources, and operational needs. Their role ensures that B2B transactions are successful in short term and contribute to the company's long-term success and growth. Finding and reaching the company decision maker in B2B context can be a crucial step in securing successful business interactions. Here is a handful of strategies to help you identify and connect with the right decision maker. Networking, events, and industry conferences. Attend industry events, trade shows, and conferences where decision makers might be present. These events provide opportunities for face-to-face interactions. Use social channels such as LinkedIn. Social channels such as LinkedIn can be used to search for the company and explore its employees. Look for individuals with relevant titles who might be decision makers. Cold calling and cold emailing. Prepare a concise and compelling message that explains who you are, why you want to connect, and address the decision maker's pain points and potential benefits. Referrals and introductions. Seek referrals from colleagues, clients, or contacts within the industry. Mutual connections can introduce you to the decision makers. Lastly, where? LinkedIn is a powerful business-to-business marketing and sales tool. LinkedIn's professional nature, powerful targeting options, and range of engagement tools make it an invaluable platform for B2B marketing. As the quote presented suggests, the key distinction that sets LinkedIn apart from platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is its focus on professionalism. In summary, the term professional encapsulates LinkedIn core essence as a platform tailored to professional networking, career advancement, industry insight, and B2B interactions. It serves as a dedicated space where professionals can engage, connect, and share content that aligns with their career and business objectives. Choosing the right mix of tactics and content formats depends on your target audience, industry, goals, and resources. Well-rounded approach that combines different tactics and content formats can help you effectively engage, educate, and convert B2B clients. Firstly, blogs. Blogs are regularly updated articles discussing industry trends, best practices, and informative topics. Email. Send targeted and personalized email campaigns to share industry insights, updates, product launches, and offers. Video. Product demonstration, explainer videos, expert interviews, and video testimonials are great ways to harbor B2B relationships. Infographics. Infographics are visual representations of data, statistics, and complex information relative to your industry. This makes it easier for customers to digest complex information. Live stream events and webinars. Host webinars, virtual conferences, or workshops to educate your audience about industry trends and showcase your solutions. This is a great B2B marketing strategy for lead generation. Case studies and customer testimonials. Success stories that showcase how your product and/or service help solve a specific problem for a client. Thank you everyone for joining me today. That's the end of our presentation on B2B marketing. If you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A section. So the one question I have here is, should I be posting different content on LinkedIn than I do on Instagram? Yes, you should post different content on LinkedIn compared to the content you're putting out on Instagram. For B2B marketing especially, each platform has its own unique audience and features and best practices. So tailoring your content to suit each specific platform is essential for effective marketing, but especially important for effective B2B marketing. Some key differences that you want to consider when you're looking at your B2C versus your B2B is your audience, your content type, your tone and style, engagement, and post frequently. This all might be different for your B2B marketing strategy than your B2C marketing strategy. The next question is, should I be writing my own blogs or share ones written by others? So I definitely would encourage a small business owner, if they feel comfortable to create their own blog content. It's more organic and it's going to shed a better light on your business in the long term. But I do think there is opportunity for a healthy mixture between the two. Producing your own content, but also interacting and sharing other people's content can be a very valuable B2B marketing strategy, or just marketing strategy in general. Does anyone have any other questions they want to throw in the Q&A section?
Hey, Grace, I was just wondering if you had some examples at all of like clients that you've worked with and how they've been successful in marketing to other businesses as opposed to general, customers and that sort of thing. I was just curious from your standpoint, working with different types of clients, if you have any thoughts or examples around that.
Yes, of course. So my biggest thing with B2B clients is often they don't know that they are a B2B client, that they should be focusing on a B2B marketing strategy. It kind of goes back to one of the most common marketing kind of fails I see when it comes to small businesses is their general strategy is they just need to throw everything out there and market to everyone instead of really taking the time to sit down and look at who their target audience is and what kind of product they're providing and who's buying their product as well as who their competitors are. So it goes right down to the basics is often, like I said, a B2B business doesn't recognize that they are B2B. So it's really taking the time to sit with a business and hash out who their customers are. And then I once you kind of get down to it and realize you're a B2B, you should be in the B2B marketing versus the B2C. It really can help tailor a business's marketing strategy and what channels they're using versus like LinkedIn versus Instagram, like I mentioned. A big one I worked with is like an accountant that was heavily set on using primarily Facebook when there was a lot more opportunity for them to provide blog posts and different kind of webinars and virtual events that they were promoting were doing much better on LinkedIn versus on Facebook because their audience just wasn't living there. So it's really just recognizing, and it goes back to another session I had, is who's your target audience and recognizing that you are B2B versus B2C.
Is there any like, strategies or things that you've worked on with clients that seem to work well in this area?
Yeah, so I'm the biggest thing that I do for B2B clients is instead of selling your product or service, selling education, information, or entertainment around what you're doing. So it goes back to, especially like to LinkedIn or a social media strategy, the 80-20 rule, I call it. So 80% of what you're doing should educate, inform, entertain versus, and only 20% of what you're doing is actually selling your service or product. So that especially does well in the B2B space because at the end of the day, when you're selling software or you're selling professional services, it's not as enticing as selling a t-shirt or selling some sort of fun gadget as they do in retail. So it's more leaning into a different portion of your strategy, which I often encourage is like I mentioned in my presentation, customer testimonials, how-to videos, interviews with the CEO, interviews with people that use your product, and those sorts of things versus, like I said, trying to sell a flashy product because accounting services and those sorts of things, they might not be as flashy as a physical product, which is a good line between B2C and B2B. I saw a question here. What are some questions businesses can ask themselves to know if they are B2B? So it goes right back to the beginning with your customer research. So who is buying your product? Who your target audience is? I often kind of remind businesses that sometimes your target audience isn't who you think it is. So looking at your competitors even to see who they're selling to. and then looking at your past sales or different historical sales or interactions you've had with your marketing, and who is that? Are you think of another thing to think about is how is your product or service being used mainly, and sometimes it's even being innovative and thinking about if you're a B2C business, how can you change and market your product and or service to be B2B. So how do you make this appealing to another business, and how are they going to use it? And that comes back to that educational content and showing your product and service in action versus just putting out a picture of a product or saying, this is my service. Really putting yourself in the shoes of your consumer is the best way to determine if you're B2B or B2C.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned, a couple other webinars that you had done on identifying customers and that sort of thing. So I just put the link to the YouTube channel in the chat there, so people can check that out. And then you also mentioned testimonials. So I know, obviously one of the things I know you've worked on with clients is kind of setting up those Google reviews, which is a good way to kind of gather those testimonials. So, is that the best way you found, or are there other ways as far as that goes?
Yeah, Google reviews and even Facebook reviews are huge for collecting customer feedback, both positive and negative. You want it all because that's how your business is going to grow and do better. But yeah, that's the best way I've seen to collect customer testimonials. Even for those of you that are familiar with Community Futures, social media, and our website, we do success stories on our clients and the different projects we work on. So we write those ourselves kind of as in a blog format. So that would be definitely an option as well for businesses. Highlighting their different success stories through blog content, as I've mentioned, might be an option for their business as well. I know it works for us. So depending on what your business does and the types of permissions you have from your clients, testimonial videos, writing little blog posts about success stories, all great ways to collect customer feedback.
Cool. A couple other questions here. Are markets still a good place for B2B business? So I'm guessing kind of like trade shows, markets, that sort of thing.
I would say it depends what kind of trade show and market you're going to. If it is something you feel is a great place to network and meet with other businesses, and like I mentioned in my presentation, if it's a place where you're going to make connections with the company decision maker to the business you're kind of targeting, that's great. If you're going to be interacting with the clients that are your target is the main goal. So is a plumber going to go set up a booth at the farmer's market? I don't know. I don't necessarily think that's where his target market might be, but if he's done the research and the target market kind of analysis, and that's where he's determined his clientele is, then all for it. But again, like I said, it really goes back to identifying where your clients are going to be. For example, we have an economic growth trade show coming up with Community Futures. That's a great place for people within our industry to highlight their services, their programs, and kind of that B2B collaboration and networking within that industry. So markets are different. Markets/trade shows, as mentioned in the presentation, are a great place to find the company decision makers, and it just depends, I'd say, on what kind of market/trade show you're going to.
Yeah, so I think you mentioned too, yeah, it depends on what you're looking to do, but sometimes it could just be a goal of networking with other people and maybe just gain those connections that can also gain referrals for customers too. So you might not find your direct customer there, but you might find somebody that can connect you with that customer kind of thing.
No, exactly. Interactions and referrals are huge. Word of mouth is still so huge in any business. So I know personally, even for the Digital Service Squad program, a lot of the people who come to me for assistance are word of mouth referrals. So still super important to get out and network.
And here's another good question, and I know a lot of people probably have dealt with this, but how do you best handle negative reviews when everyone else can see them?
The best way, the best advice I can give anyone that gets negative reviews is don't ignore them. As much as you would like to, I feel like it's much more professional for a business to address the concerns of the person giving the negative review, apologize for what their pain points are, and say something along the lines like a call to action that we will address this problem and do better in the future. Keeping it very generic without getting heated, stay neutral. But I personally believe the worst thing you can do with a negative review is ignore it. So address the concern, stay neutral, take it as feedback and bring it back to your business and see if there's things you can do to prevent that negative thing from happening again. I understand that there is negative people and trolls out there that will just throw whatever up onto the internet. But like I said, it's the worst thing you can do is ignore it, stay neutral, have a very level response that you're giving to people leaving negative reviews, and do whatever you can as a business. Take that feedback and use it to create a better customer experience with someone else to get a positive review.
Yeah. Okay. Another question that came in here. How do you balance networking versus coming across that you only care about them as a potential sale?
That all comes down to your customer relationship style. Don't come across as the pushy door-to-door salesman that's only trying to push a sale. Ask about the company, ask about their mission statement, ask about the goals, talk about your company, your company's missions and goals. Kind of staying out of the area of sales is a good networking tip I would suggest. Starting a conversation about just very generic business related things and then leading into a sale beyond that. Definitely do not hop 2 feet in with, I want to sell you this, that, and the other thing. There definitely is a way to network without pushing a sale, just the same as on social media when you are only pushing products and services. It comes across as sell, 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 sell. Providing different industry insight, education, things that you can kind of collaborate on, whether that's maybe a collaborative blog post or sharing their content on social media and kind of working your way into a sale would be the best way to approach networking, I think. But that is just my personal opinion.
Sounds good. And I'll also here, and I'm guessing this is for you specifically, but can you help business owners structure a solid, reach out communications plan when they're planning to do cold calls or cold emails?
Absolutely. That would be something as a Digital Service Squad team member I could help you out with. Just book an appointment with me or sign up using the link that Darren provided in the chat. And I'd be happy to sit down with you and create a reach out / marketing strategy for your business.